Simcha Damari, 60 from Dimona. Jonathan Shor, 40 from Tel Aviv. Avraham Goldman, 69 from Ramat HaSharon. 3 Israeli citizens, only 72 hours ago, they were alive, walking in the streets of Istanbul, looking for all kinds of taste, colors and taste. And then, in a single second, they were all killed by a terrorist attack, a Daesh activist who was looking for them and others and killed 3 Israelis, an Iranian citizen and a Turkish citizen. Scores of other people, including Israelis, were wounded. This happened just 72 hours ago. Another terror attack. There is no safe place on earth, my friends. No safe place. New York, London, Paris, Madrid, every capital, every city in Europe, Africa, South America, Mediterranean, Middle East, they are all under a constant terror threat. The terror hits us. And what do we do in return? Are we ready to fight back? Are we aware of the terrible consequences of terror toward our entire life, including democracy, which we all cherish very much? If we surrender to terror, there will be no democracy, I can assure you. This is a common battle for all of us, from wherever we are. We should assume this policy. We should assume this strategy here and now. I expect this forum, which is dealing with so many important things, to take this one also upon himself. If we don't fight terror, terror will beat us. And I would like to return to the major topic, because democracy has to do with our life. Democracy has to do with young people. Democracy has a huge impact on where we are. One cannot conceive of the so-called Arab Spring, a popular drive to unset unelected rulers, a new politics in countries such as Greece and Spain, or the grassroots protest movements in Israel, without the enthusiastic part played by the young, frustrated citizens. In countries with high population growth rates, the young overwhelm the whole in sheer numbers. They are frustrated by the state built by their elders. The young do not share the life experience of the old. They have no memories of colonial and pre-independence periods, their injustices and deprivation. The young have often grown weary of national narratives of liberation and emancipation. Rather, the young demand jobs, health, and housing. Unfortunately, in developing countries, job creation and welfare do not keep pace with demographics. In rich countries, the young take peace and prosperity for granted, confident that revolutions and great wars have been consigned to the historical dustbin. They have no ambiguous relations with globalization. The young enjoy the greater mobility and the possibilities that globalization provides for career, consumption, and culture. However, they envy the job security and pension enjoyed by the previous generation. As globalization enhances competition, they seek a social safety net. But at the same time, that safety net is harder to provide. In poor and rich countries alike, the young people also their hardships. Old leaders are regarded as disconnected from the new generation, perhaps even indifferent to their needs. Empowered by the personal gadgets and new applications, the young are quick to create new social networks, allowing them to organize spontaneously for street protests without formal party structures. Such mass movements have played an important role in unseating the governments of Tunisia and Egypt in 2011. They have been prominent in the same year in Israel, pressing the government to pay more attention to welfare concerns. Likewise, Greece and Spain, young people have challenged austerity politics by occupying the streets. Such new politics of the young, spontaneous and energetic may not lead to much change and might in fact serve to increase frustration if they are not followed by more party politics. In any any situation, established parties make it hard for the young to voice their concerns, with the result of the radicalization of the young, green and evil as it is. Daesh is a great attraction for some young Arabs. Daesh is a great attraction for some young Arabs. Democracy offers the best means to vent the frustration of the young and turn them into constructive political action, where political parties are dynamic and feature relatively high personal turnover, as in Israel, one can find many young members of the national legislature, young mayors and young ministers. Actually, one of them, MK Sharon Skerl, is joining me this morning to this conference. In government or in parliamentary opposition, politically active young people in democratic countries can better affect policy, as well as realize the constraint limitations of policy. Thus, democracy is the best method for eliminating intergenerational conflicts. And finally, a few words about Israel. We are proud that in the 60 years of Israel's independence, we have preserved and abided by democratic principles. Our democracy has never been harmed or compromised. It endured times of external and internal threats of Israel, of war and terrorism. We have learned to balance the need to struggle against the threats to the security of the State of Israel while preserving these principles. During times of internal unrest, demonstrations, internal pressure were directed towards democratic channels and resolved by democratic means. We believe in democracy, we believe in human rights, we believe in transparency. We educate our next generation to these values in our schools and universities. This is the reason that our democratic culture continues and overcomes obstacles and challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, my colleagues, there is no better form of government than democracy. It's not perfect, but it's better than any other system. Israel is, has always been, and will continue to be a democracy. Thank you very much.
That was very good.